Please join me in welcoming Katie Loovis.
Thank you, Dr. Parker, and good evening, faculty, staff, parents, guests, and graduates. Class of 2019, what a joy to stand before you this evening, the eve of your graduation. I spent a good bit of time reflecting on what I might share with you this evening. Through that process, I couldn't help but go down memory lane to 20 years ago when I was in your shoes. My goodness, so much has changed. Back in the 90s, we typed our papers in the computer lab because no one had a laptop. We were just getting introduced to email, and we were still a few years from everyone having a cell phone. Don't even get me started about social media. It wasn't a concept yet. But we thought we were winning back then because we didn't have to wait in line at Woolen Gym to register for classes. Yep, we had Caroline. It was the high-tech automated phone system for registering for classes. First, UNC would mail you this really thick course catalog, and in it were newspaper-thin pages that you would pour through, and it would outline every class available and a special pin. And on the right day at the right time, you would start dialing and dialing and dialing until you got through the busy signal and got into the system. And you had to be fast. You had to enter those pins, because Lord knows you didn't want an 8 a.m. class. Ironically, it was through this system, this cumbersome process, that I discovered my love for the field of communication. I remember poring through the old course catalog and using a felt tip marker to circle all the classes that intrigued me. I circled public speaking, persuasion, introduction to interpersonal communication, organizational ethics. All the classes I circled were, you guessed it, communication studies. Happily, I became a communication major. And thank goodness I made that choice. I was able to take classes with talented professors like Dr. Steve May, who became my thesis advisor and has been a tremendous mentor and friend for me for the last 20 plus years. It was through these classes and with these talented professors like Dr. May that I realized how important, relevant, and meaningful the study of communication is. And this reflection brings me to my first message I want to share with you today: the value of your communication degree. Some of you may go into academia and shape our field, and I hope you do. But I suspect most of you will journey like me into business or government or nonprofits. Or maybe you'll launch your own venture or even go to Hollywood. Wherever you go, whatever sector you choose, there is such a need for those who are deeply skilled in the art and science of communication. I've come to think of communication as a horizontal. Whereas some fields are more vertical, communication skills are useful and relevant across so many sectors and industries. When you pair your superb communication skills with your own unique passions, you unlock a powerful combination. The communication skills I was able to develop at UNC, paired with my own passion for helping people and helping communities, has served me well. It served me well in government at the White House, where I had the pleasure of being the liaison for all the national service programs like Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, Senior Corps. It served me well in business at a global healthcare company called GlaxoSmithKline, where I was able to direct their philanthropy in the US and corporate responsibility. And again, these communication skills, paired with my passion for service, served me well in the nonprofit sector at Achieving the Dream, where I was able to help them go through a national expansion to help more community colleges. I share this to assure you, or maybe assure your parents, that from Chapel Hill to Capitol Hill, from Main Street to Wall Street, There are so many meaningful communication roles in all sorts of places and spaces, including some sectors you may not have considered. There is great value in your communication degree. And now here you are, all decked out in your cap and gowns. You are a scholar. Whether you think you are or not, you are. You put in many hours, days, months, years of hard work. You've earned this very respected and coveted degree from one of the finest nations in the university. But let me ask you, is this cap adorning your head, this crowning achievement, is it the culmination of a long, dusty, and difficult scholastic path filled with just checking boxes and going through the motions? Or was it a journey that sparkled with curiosity, wonder, and an insatiable love of learning? The knowledge you acquired here can take you far in life, but it is the love of learning that will make your steps shimmer along the way. Probably the best example of what it means to be a lifelong learner is Leonardo da Vinci. I was recently captivated with his extraordinary life when I read his biography by Walter Isaacson. For those who don't know, Da Vinci was the original Renaissance man and a giant in human history. He was the brilliant artist behind the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, and often credited with having invented the parachute, helicopter, and tank. The scope and depth of his interests were unprecedented in recorded history. He was an inventor, a painter, a sculptor, architect, scientist, mathematician, engineer, botanist, astronomer, cartographer, and more. The man loved learning. Walter Isaacson described him as having regular moments of marvel at the phenomena that the rest of us rarely pause to ponder after we've outgrown our wonder years. I have good news for you. If you haven't been swept up in the love of learning yet, it is not too late. You can start flexing that muscle of curiosity, feeding the hunger of wonder, and tapping into the love of learning. In the last few years, I've been surprised with how taken I've become with plants. I became a master gardener, and it's like a rabbit hole, leading to more questions, more conversations, more people. As you stay curious and imaginative, your life expands and there's room for great joy. I have found the love of learning to be one of the most precious treasures in a meaningful life. Going forward, with this powerful degree in your hand, coupled with your unique passions and a fierce love of learning, you will be well positioned for the changing times ahead. Yes, I think it's fair to say we are living in rapidly changing times. Here are some fast facts for you. Graduates today are likely to have 17 different jobs across 5 different industries. 65% of the jobs today did not exist when I was in your chair 20 years ago, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And going forward, it is predicted that 25 to nearly 50% of the work we currently do will be replaced with technology by 2033. Heather McGowan, a futurist and the #1 education influencer on LinkedIn, talks about how the future of work is learning. She says we are entering a whole new era. We have gone from the industrial era to the information era, and now we're entering the augmented era. Going forward, we can expect work to become more automated. Think IBM's Watson. Think all the artificial intelligence powering chat boxes. According to McGowan, navigating this new normal will require a few things. Adaptability will be a must. And here's the kicker. Lifelong learning will be a norm. And our uniquely human skills, think empathy, think our communication, will be highly valued. So in summary, you have earned a degree with value that should serve you well now and through the augmented years to come. Your professors, faculty, staff, and alumni, including myself, have a vision for you, that you would become citizen scholars to build a better North Carolina and a better world. I encourage you to take your highly refined and valuable communication skills and couple them with your own unique passions. Keep an open mind and an open heart about where and through what sectors your journey might lead you. And set out on your path. As Picasso said, your call is to find your gift, and your purpose is to give it away. Through it all, remember to embrace the love of learning. It will enrich your life and empower you in the changing times ahead. Funny enough, as you close out your formal education, I am just beginning my next chapter. Next week, I start a 3.5-year doctoral program in community college leadership. I'm excited, but a little nervous. So I really appreciate my parents, Renee and Jeff Loovis, and my dear friend Brian Jones for being here and encouraging me and supporting me as I head in this new direction. To wrap it up, this is my hope and my prayer for you and for me as we start our new adventures. May our minds be captivated with curiosity and our souls filled with song. May our passion be for the public good and our path paved in peace. May our time be spent only on what is true, good, and beautiful. And may we all know the love of learning and the life of meaning. You are now charged with advancing communication for the public good. Do something worthy. Congratulations, class of 2019.